Hi guys, this is Adam Winch here, Defenders USA. Thanks for watching this. We're pretty lucky today. We're getting to talk to Richard, or he likes to go by Rick, right? I like to call him Richard because he doesn't like that. But this is Rick Hess. This is Rick Hess. But we're talking to him. He's been a student with a couple different things. I want him to introduce himself to you. But understand something. I think you're talking to a genius here, right? He probably won't tell you this, but he's like I don't know, ninja secret squirrel, rocket scientist, blah, 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 you name it, way smarter than me. He's done a lot of training with us. But anyways, Rick, sir, tell us about yourself.
So let's see, I'm retired. I spent 35 years mostly in the aerospace industry. My background is computer science. My specialty was artificial intelligence for the autonomous control of spacecraft. I did ground systems. Had a lot of fun at Lockheed Martin, Ball Aerospace, Northrop Grumman. Had a great career, and now I'm retired, and I'm having fun.
So you're the guy tracking us all, aren't you? Okay. So, anyways, Rick here. I had the fortune of meeting him. I think actually in this building. We're at his hotel here. We're at the DoubleTree Hilton in Grand Junction, Colorado. And I think the first time I met you, I think was a rifle course that we met here.
I was taking a long range precision course.
Yep.
It was at the Cameo Range.
And I was able to be one of the assisting instructors for that course. And you walked in, sat down. I think you were the first person because we're running the classroom portion here at one of the conference rooms. And I'll tell you from the immediate get-go, I knew, we've got a real brain here. This guy's smart. So that was kind of a cool experience.
All right, enough of that.
Okay, so anyways, you're quite the shooter, right? You've done a lot of different training. Can you kind of give us a background of the firearms training you've done?
So my firearms training began, believe it or not, at the Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I took a semester-long marksmanship course that was sponsored by the Department of Defense.
Boom.
I had a former Olympic rifle lady who was our teacher, Miss Norkauer, and from that course on, I loved shooting.
Well, and as I've seen you, you're very precise in what you do, right? I'm sure that's served you well through life. But I mean, you're that guy who's reaching out and touching targets at 1,500 yards, right? 2,000 yards, right? I mean, precision stuff at 100 yards, you're putting bullets in the same hole. I mean, that's kind of you.
And my daughter is a better shot than I am.
Okay, so now you've also done a lot of handgun and even fighting rifle training with us here at Defenders USA.
Absolutely.
In fact, this weekend you're in town because you came to our handgun speed and precision course this weekend, right?
That is a great course. Let me just say that I've been coming out of COVID, and I have been neglecting my handgun skills.
It's COVID.
Right. So I thought I'd come out here and brush up, and you come out and you think, oh, I'm cool, man. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. And Adam's course is a douse of cold reality where you realize I have a lot of work to do.
Well, I mean, that's all of us, right?
Right.
I mean, these are perishable skills. Carrying a handgun is serious business, and you do it in capacities for defense of others beyond just yourself, right?
Church.
You do it through your church, right, to help protect people there. And in that, I mean, in that type of setting, could we say that it's really important for high degrees of accuracy with a handgun, high degrees of accuracy, but also high degree of speed, access to the gun, and getting a solid hit?
You know, it's easy to go to the range and punch the paper, but it's a whole different thing when you're being timed and it's coming out of the holster and you're attempting to do it in 1.5 seconds and the gun comes out and you're like, oh, where's my sight picture? Am I squeezing the trigger? Yeah, I'm squeezing the trigger. Bang! The gun goes off and you're like, oh, where'd that shot go?
So over time, right, you've been doing some training with us on the handgun side. You've been through our Defender series, a couple different handgun fundamental variations we have, fighting rifle a couple different times. Do you feel like over time, as much as shooter as you are, do you feel like in the training you've done with us, has there been improvement or none whatsoever, significant? I mean, in reality, what's this?
So I think it's like anything in life. You begin consciously incompetent, and you move up through the levels until you become unconsciously competent.
Which you are.
But you, in his classes, in Adam's classes, he always steps you back to the steps, the process that you have to go through. And you start off slow, slow is smooth, smooth is fast, and you speed up over time, and things become more and more instinctive for you.
Yeah.
With your training.
Yeah. And what we've worked on just this weekend here was really getting that grip really, really perfect on that gun. Really good trigger press. You're not too far in, too far off. I mean, smooth, easy press. And I found that when the grip is absolutely perfect in there, and you get that right,
yes,
your rounds go where they're supposed to go.
It's almost like the gun is in control rather than you.
Okay.
It's almost, when you get to a point, it's almost spiritual in nature. It's Zen-like.
You know, I found for me it's almost, if you're going to talk spiritual, I found for me it's almost a matter of faith, right? If you work on the fundamentals, the mechanics of proper shooting, you have good pressure to the sides of the gun, the north south of the gun. You have a good full amount of meat on the gun, bone on the gun, right? You're not over gripping it, you're not under gripping it. You just have everything just right. Really, and you know you have a good trigger press. It's really just put it where it's supposed to go. Have the faith it's going to do that, and just do it. Where I see a lot of people, they try to muscle it through and execute that thing through, and they try to force it into it. And really, it's just as long as these are correct, and you just have faith it's going to do it, it happens every time.
Right, but it's all about building up the process.
Yeah.
And Adam is a master at dissecting exactly what you're doing wrong, even though you don't know you're doing it, and then you realize, oh, I have something I need to correct. So you focus in on that for a while, you get that right, and you think, oh, I'm good. And then Adam comes back and says, you know, you need to work on this.
So could we say that if you feel, see, and understand the nuance of what you're doing, and you can see the small things or feel the small things, and if you know they're off, if you correct those, you become a better shooter.
You become a better shooter, and I have confidence in my skills. I'm a concealed carry holder, so every day when I go out the door, I usually strap on a gun, whether it be a 40, it's usually my 45, but sometimes when I'm out doing sporting kind of things, I'll have a little 380 in my cycling jersey or in my running shorts, and I'm just as good with that 380 as I am with a 45.
Yeah. Well, and we're going to jump into here in a few moments in a whole different video, so I hope you'll come back and watch this. We're going to talk to Rick here about his skill level, right? The training that he did has actually saved his life. So I want to come back to that on another video here and talk about the need for that training, but also the incident you went through and the thought process, everything else went in there. But what's interesting to me is Rick here he's a thinker, right? He thinks things through, and he spends time trying to understand all the nuance of what we're doing, right? Like any of us should in the gun world, and then constantly making sure that it stays up to date, stays fresh, COVID notwithstanding, right? Stays fresh in there, so that if that day ever does come, which we hope it never does, and for you it did come.
To where you did not expect it.
Yeah, didn't expect it. Always comes when you don't expect it, it seems. But to where those skills are fresh enough to where if you have to use it, you can use it well. So notice what he's done. He's come into training again. We have a master gun guy. He's not really described the depth of his training here, right? He's being humble. But the depth of his training, the time he spent on this, yet he came back and went to even what I would call a fundamentals class, right? It's a handgun speed and precision. It's a little above the fundamentals, but it focused on the fundamentals, and my goodness, it was incredible. Even then, a master level shooter, what I would consider, even then I watched that tighten up a little bit more as we focused in on it.
Right.
Okay. Well, anyways, I just wanted to introduce you to Rick here. We hope you're able to come to some training. Again, this is Defenders USA. I'm Adam Winch.
It is so much fun, let me tell you.
It's a blast.
It is a blast. You'll have a great time, and you'll learn so much.
Yeah. Our website, if you want to look it up, is simply defenders-usa.com or defenders-usa.com. You can find us on Facebook, things like that. For those of you who've been part of the Defenders USA family, right? You've been through a course. We also have a Defenders USA alumni page that does kind of some different things. In fact, Rick gets on there and posts certain things on there at times, and it's open to whoever's part of that to post anything you want. But we'd love to have you in there. I just want to introduce you to Rick. Please watch the next videos coming up because we're going to talk about an incident where a gun in his training saved his life. So thanks again for watching. Rick, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, Adam.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.